guys, welcome back to Let's Do Life Together, a podcast by Kay and Tay. Very excited to be here. This is episode 2. If you missed the first one, go ahead and go back and watch it. But thank you for being here now. We are excited to get into this one.
Yep.
Also welcoming the newest member of our family.
We picked the name.
This is Harold.
For those of you that are not on the video version of this podcast, Harold is the little plant that we have here in our little studio. So
He sits between us. He's so cute.
shout out to you guys for picking the name Harold.
Absolutely. And welcome to the family, Harold.
Yeah.
He's a little quiet. He's a little nervous. But I'm glad that you guys all got very into naming the plant because I wasn't sure if you would. But all the name suggestions were very cute.
Yeah.
But Harold was popular, and I immediately loved it.
Yep.
So we had to go with Harold.
There we go. Welcome, Harold.
Welcome, Harold. So a lot to talk about today, a few exciting topics, a few things that you guys might feel very passionately about. So I'm excited to hear what your thoughts are as we get into the conversation.
Me too.
So social media influencing and how it affects our lives and how it affects our lifestyle and, how it kind of works with being a body positivity type person or couple, because I feel like technically we're a body positive couple.
You mean like the influence of social media?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
I realized I said social media influencing, but I meant how does social media influence us?
Okay. Yeah, you could start. Or do you want me to start since you've been doing all the talking so far?
Hey, you can start if you want. I can always warm up. So after I talk a lot, go ahead.
I feel like you're great at like adding to whatever it is that I say every time. Like every time I start with like, because I lose my train of thought all the time. And then you're good at like picking that up and finishing it.
It's just because we're a good team, babe.
Exactly.
But okay, go us. Period.
But yeah, I feel like it depends on how you see it, I try not to let social media influence how I see my relationship and how I view my relationship and how I go about my relationship. But, we're not perfect. So sometimes it can affect you, but I just try to stay out of it and not give in to comments and stuff like that. And just live live my truth and our truth. And
Absolutely.
yeah, just staying true to ourselves, I love my life. I love my relationship. Nobody else has to be happy other than me and her, I don't really care about what anybody else says. I'm amazing. I'm doing amazing. Couldn't do any better. So, yeah, it's just I think about me and her because it's about me and her, nobody else.
That's very true. And I definitely agree with that. I think the one thing about social media when it comes to like those external factors is the fact that you have to understand everything you're absorbing is usually planned, is usually curated, it usually is posted with a certain intent to make you feel something, whether it's a creator that you follow that makes you feel really great about yourself, a creator who you follow who doesn't necessarily make you feel really great about yourself. All of content is really planned for the most part. And I think for me, it really comes down to reminding myself not to get into that doom scroll where I'm constantly absorbing, curated content and I'm, reading comments and listening to what people are talking about, especially when it comes to body stuff. Body positivity is such an interesting topic today. I feel like when it first became a thing, it was solely focused on people just really feeling confident in their skin and confident to wear certain things, wear their hair a certain way, wear a different type of outfit. And now it has kind of gotten a little bit messy to me, actually, where you can be posting and try to remind people to be confident, and then you have people who are literally in your comments, like Khalil said, trying to tear you down or comment on the fact that you're bigger than your partner or too much smaller than your partner. And it just becomes this big mess of like, okay, what do I need to absorb? What's actually healthy for me to be hearing and to be focusing on? So it can get a little difficult to kind of get past those blurred lines of like that planned content that's good for you and the planned content that's not so good for you, and the people commenting in both areas. So I tried to just not get in that like doom scroll, and also not doom scroll our comments.
Yeah.
For the most part, our comments are really great. But sometimes when we're very open or I'm in a bathing suit, people just love to get a little aggressive, and tear me down, especially knowing that Khalil's an athlete. So it can be tough, but just like Khalil said, we always remind ourselves that we know our truth, we know our relationship, we know the healthy balance, and we always remind each other to come back to that, the root of why we're doing this, why we like sharing, and it's us and it's our relationship. You know what I mean? So that's something that I'm grateful that we both agree on,
Yeah.
is to always bring it back to the realness, which is just we freaking love each other, okay? So if it bothers
Exactly.
you, go away.
And we try not to read the comments, but the thing is, we both like to reply to every single comment,
True.
because you guys are amazing. So we like to reply to everyone as much as we can. We like to engage with you guys. We have gotten so many messages, so many people that, DM us, and yeah, just all the comments in general. So sometimes it's hard to stay away from it, because then it's like then there's a bad one here, a bad one there, a bad one there. I'm very good at like just shutting it off and like whatever, and I just focus on everybody else, on the good. I feel like I saw a video the other day. It was a creator, and she said that she doesn't like to read her comments, the good ones or the bad ones, because because she feels like she's gonna get so like caught up in all the good that once she sees one bad one, it's just gonna like tear her
Absolutely.
down completely, and she's gonna be super self-cautious about her filmmaking and all that. And I definitely get that. So I don't know, it's 50-50. It's a weird like,
It is very tough.
you know.
Absolutely. Because you want to read the positive ones, because the positive ones are the ones that motivate you and that make you feel like, yes, this is exactly why I'm doing this.
Yeah.
It's reaching my target audience. And then there's that one comment, oh, she looks like a blimp. And you're like, oh, what? What do you mean? Why would you say that? Like, it's so rude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you also have to understand that those are people that are bothered by something.
Yeah.
They feel the need to come on and to say something that's going to try to tear you down because it makes them feel better about themselves. And my thing
Yeah.
is, if you feel better after calling me a blimp, good on you. Okay? Good on you. Do your thing. Like, that's fine. I personally like to build other people up, but if you like to
Yeah.
tear people down, that's cool. Just maybe do it elsewhere.
And my thing is, I'm not even like going to the comments to like feel better about myself. I'm
Yeah.
just going to the comments to reply to everyone that's commenting,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, yeah. I feel like the influence of other people is, yeah, it definitely can be a lot. Like even your parents, if you have parents that like, oh, her parents don't really like me, or my parents don't really like her, and then like that can influence how you treat your partner and how you view
Absolutely.
your relationship. Luckily, my parents are in love with her, always have been, and her parents also really like me. So
Absolutely.
it's good. Like it's motivating. They really, they love us, they care about us, and yeah, yeah, it's
I totally
just,
agree. But that's a good example, because that's a good example to show of like how external factors
yeah,
can be beneficial. The people who love you and support you and are backing you and are, absorbing what you're putting out in the right way are always going to make you feel great, because you're like, yes, that's exactly why I post this. That's why I do this.
yeah,
And they make you feel like excited. Like, I literally feel warm and fuzzy when I read comments and
yeah,
someone said, oh, you made me feel really good about myself because I realized I can wear a tight dress, or you made me realize it's okay for me to be bigger than my partner, or whatever the things are that people say. It truly, truly matters. But if I can give any bit of advice or a tip that like I really will stay true to all the time, is that you have to understand that you are so amazing and you're so unique and there is nobody like you, and people will bother you on purpose sometimes just to feel better about themselves, like I said, and you have to just know that it's okay.
yep,
It's fine. And if you ever need a little, warm and fuzzy feeling, just DM me. We could talk about it. Go to our account, watch a little video, feel a little something, watch whatever makes you feel good about you. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's definitely, it can be tough. But like I said in the last episode, you guys make it all absolutely worth it. I will do it over again anytime.
And that's what I love about our content. You could just go look at it and it gives a certain energy. Even when like we're making the content. It's like I remember the feeling in that moment. It's not like we're living for social media. We just happen to be doing social media while living. We're already doing these things. So we just put a camera and recording the moment, and it turns out great. So
That's
it's
very true.
nice.
That's very
It's
true.
nice hearing like all the messages of, oh, you make me love myself, or it's okay that my partner is bigger than me. It's okay that I'm bigger than my partner. It's nice.
It's very nice. It's very
Yeah.
nice. Speaking of that, what are your thoughts? And I'll share mine after, of course, too. But the concept of health at every size versus fitness culture. And do you think that they are two things that can coexist?
I definitely feel like if you're healthy, then what's the problem? There's If you're plus size, if you're not plus size, like whatever. Are you healthy? Are you happy with yourself?
Yeah.
Yes? Cool. Then that's settled. Yeah, is I am an athlete, and even before I was a professional athlete, I've always been hella active all the time. And then I see certain people tell you like, "Oh, why don't you?" Or they even tell me like, "Why don't you take her to the gym? Why doesn't she work out? Why doesn't she do this? Why doesn't she do that?" She's more active than I am sometimes, and she's healthy.
Oh my
She's
God.
perfectly healthy. She has her goals that she wants to achieve, and I help her with whatever I can, however I can. Um, but yeah, she's perfectly fine. She eats better than I do, honestly. And
That's very true. I will agree with
yeah,
that.
it's just yeah, people just need to worry about themselves. Like, are you at the gym? Are you healthy? Are you?
Working on yourself,
Yeah,
sir. And why is it always a sir? Okay.
yeah,
It's always these gym bros. And I'm like, go
yeah.
away. But I do agree with that. I like the idea of health at any size because to me, healthy is like, it's an internal thing. Are you healthy? Are you, constantly going to the doctor, making sure you're getting checked on? Is everything okay with you in that sense? Besides how you're looking on the outside, everything physiologically is okay? Great, then that's all that matters. People love to comment about that kind of stuff with me, and it drives me insane because I go to the doctor regularly, of course, and I've even asked myself, am I like I'm good, right? And every time I go, they say, "Yep, you're only vitamin D deficient." How dare they tell me I'm vitamin D deficient? You see this melanin, okay? But they told me I'm vitamin D deficient and that's it. And it's like, okay, so all these people are trying to tell me that I'm unhealthy just because I happen to be, bigger than a size 10. But realistically, I'm perfectly healthy, And I think when we're talking the concept of the fitness culture, it is very important for everybody to have movement in their day or movement in their life. And I do believe that. I did fall off a little bit. Those of you who have followed us for a while saw me literally kicking ass and freaking taking names in Brazil. And now that I'm home, I'm not kicking anybody's ass and they're taking my name, okay? So just recently, I got back into my workout grind and I've been on it for about 3 weeks. And I'm reminded why movement is so important and how healing movement can be. So I do believe that you can be healthy at any size, and I believe that that's your business and not anybody else's business. But I will also say I always vouch for some type of physical activity just because I think it's really good for us, honestly, more mentally than it can be physically sometimes. Even a walk, and that's all I'm doing right now is walking about 2 miles a day for about 45 minutes. And I love it. I think it's making me feel good about myself internally, externally, and mentally. So I truly do believe that you can have balance between the two,
For sure.
you know?
I agree.
And we should not ever be seeking external validation unless it's your man hyping you up, then period.
Yep.
As he very well should.
Yeah, it's all about you. Who am I to tell you what to do?
Absolutely.
So if you're healthy, then you're healthy. If you want to be smaller, then go
Do
to the
it.
gym, work out, freaking
Absolutely.
do your thing.
Absolutely.
But if you're happy, that's all that matters. All
Period.
I hope that, if you're healthy, that's cool.
And one thing I will touch on that I feel like has been a hot topic kind of in the body positivity world is some of the creators, and I don't know if you've seen any of these videos, Khalil, but some of the creators who have kind of started their platform on based on body positivity, and they tend to be, a curvier woman, a plus size woman, however they want to define that, and they lose weight for whatever reason. They may or may not be on medication. They could just be working out more. They could be whatever's going on. It could even be sometimes not such good things, maybe mental health. And people kind of are in their comments and talking about how they're changing themselves to fit the mold of the world. And I definitely think that's something that needs to be
And they're
reeled
like
in.
mad at them for losing weight.
They are mad at
Yeah.
them, and I see those comments on those videos and it stresses me out because I'm like, that's their body, that's not your body. They may have gone through something, they may have made a decision, whatever it is, that's not your choice, that's their choice. So that's something that, like, I just have to put my opinion out there and say, at the end of the day, even though some of us influencers put a lot of our lives out there for you guys to see, those things are not for you to scrutinize. If you want to ask a question, ask it respectfully. You want to support respectfully. Don't tear people down because they're going through something or they're doing something for themselves. Because at the end of the day, selfish people live longer. So we need to take care of ourselves in any way that we can. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
for sure.
So, and even touching on that, I think it's good for us to constantly remind people that even though we are a couple and we're talking about this fitness aspect of our lives, we do have separate lives outside of our relationship. And Khalil is a professional athlete. I, however, am not. I wish I was. Okay, shoot. But that's Khalil's job. Okay, that's what Khalil does. I don't do that. Maybe one day, you never know.
I'll do it for the
But
both of us.
thank you, babe. I appreciate that. I'd rather watch you than have you watch me, actually, because I'd be very nervous to have Khalil watch me do absolutely anything, like up on a stage or in a ring. I'd probably pass out just from nerves, literally. But I like to remind people that, like, we do have lives outside of our relationship and we're also individual people. And, me taking care of myself is something that I definitely prioritize.
What is
And
your
he
life
does too.
outside of us?
You are my life. I'm just kidding.
Good.
I'm not kidding.
Good answer. That's what I was expecting.
Yeah, let me talk about that. I feel like you guys don't get to hear enough about who we are as individuals as much as we are, as a couple.
Yeah.
And I am actually a full time student. I've been in school for what feels like 456 years. But I started college before COVID, and COVID kind of derailed me a little bit. I don't know why. It was definitely a big bump in the road for me. But I'm back on track now, and I'll be finishing my current school in the winter in December. I'm very excited to finally be out of there. Woo woo. And I'll be transferring. Hopefully, I get into my dream college next year in the fall. And I'm pursuing a degree in kinesiology because I love sports medicine. It just crazy how it worked out that I met Khalil and he's a professional athlete and here I am.
Couldn't be more
It
perfect.
couldn't be more perfect, really, if you think about it. But yes, that's who I am. I'm also a dog walker, and I think a lot of people don't know that either. I'm a dog walker and dog sitter.
She has so many dogs at her house.
So many dogs, you guys. But I love dogs. I prefer dogs to people, no offense.
Yeah.
But I've been doing it since I was 16. I actually started the business when I turned 16. So that's something I take a lot of pride in. And that's kind of who I am outside of our relationship. That's basically what I do when I'm not with Khalil. I'm taking care of dogs or I'm doing homework.
Yeah.
And now creating YouTube videos because I'm trying to get on Khalil's level with his film over here.
I'm
But
okay.
who are you outside our relationship?
Who am I? Well, I was going to school, and I definitely want to get back, because I want to get my diploma and get a degree. Degree, not diploma. Or I guess that makes sense,
Both,
right?
it counts.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something that's really important to me. I want to get a degree in marketing. I think it will help with, everything that I'm doing, just to get that knowledge. A lot of people, I know a lot of people, and they say that they did go to school and like, oh, I'm not even using my degree. I'm not. But it's just having the knowledge is important for me. And outside of I'm a professional athlete. I'm a professional boxer. Um, and outside of that, I do filmmaking that I completely fell in love with it. I started 9 months ago exactly. Um, and yeah, it's just something that it's like an art form that I just fell in love with completely. Just capturing moments and feelings and things like that. I definitely want to do short films eventually, one day. We actually did a song. Well, it was mostly me, and she kind of did a
Oh, but the way you were about to give me credit was so sweet.
yeah, because I mean, I wanted her to be in it, but she wasn't ready yet. Like she needs to, you know.
And I had just had my wisdom teeth out.
Yeah.
So I had a little bit of a lisp when I was
I I
talking.
thought she was ready, but she doesn't. She has to be a little more comfortable.
I'm very shy when it comes to music, guys, but that
Yeah.
we could touch on that in another
But you
episode.
guys will be hearing that soon. But to get back to my point, the
Yep.
filmmaking point, I want to do a video for that. Um, so you guys will be seeing that. Yeah. My Instagram for my film account is Khalil's Films, KALYLS Films. And yeah, everything filmmaking that I do is on there.
It's so
And
incredible. If you guys haven't taken a moment to check it out, I'm telling you, I would not gas him up the way I do if he was not worthy of it.
thank
His
you.
films are incredible.
Thank you.
It's really phenomenal to see how Khalil can dive into something like head first and just kind of say, okay, I don't know what's going to happen, but like I kind of am getting into this hobby and I'm going to see how it goes. And now it's become a full passion for him. And you can really tell because how hard he works on it and the stuff that he creates is just insane. Like I'm sensing, we're going to see a movie some produced by Khalil Silva one day. So when you see it, you saw this episode, you knew it was
Directed by
coming.
Khalil's Films.
Directed by Khalil's Films.
One day.
Okay? One day. And we'll circle back to this clip and we'll play it
Yeah.
when we're celebrating it.
Yeah. It's fun. I wanna start doing documentaries soon. That'd be fun. I have a friend of mine that also does filmmaking. He's at a
Very cool.
different level than I am, but hopefully I'll get there.
Absolutely. Shout
But
out to
yeah,
Ryan, our
just
bestie.
yeah, shout out to Ryan. He's actually outside in his van.
Probably working on one of his amazing documentaries. His
Yeah.
stuff is also phenomenal.
Yeah.
So Khalil's actually helping me also with a passion project. I asked him to be the director on something I want to work on, just kind of telling you guys more about my life, especially when it comes to why I was able to get into body positivity and why it mattered to me so much. So you guys will definitely be seeing that eventually. We're working on it. I'm like the behind the scenes we're working on. It's very low key right now, but I'll keep you guys in the loop so you know what's
Just
going on.
started talking about it.
Yeah, literally just started talking about it, but I'm already feeling very excited, very pumped up about it too.
Yeah.
So,
Should be fun.
right. Is
So,
is it that
segment
time?
time.
Is it that time? Not us both excited?
It's that time.
I get so excited. I love this. Okay, so the time you guys love, the time we love, it's our mystery box. I'm so excited.
Me too.
I'm really excited for this one. Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
I think I went first last time.
Did you? Okay,
Yeah.
I will go first this time. Everybody who remembers the container, for our listeners on Spotify, it's the cutest orange spooky container. Shout out to Ray Dunn, my girl.
Yep.
I love Ray
We're
Dunn.
gonna read 3 questions.
Okay, so there's one. You can set that down.
And by the way, these questions, we put a poll on our Instagram. We will put another one pretty soon. So stay tuned on our Instagram. And every time we do this segment, it's gonna be your guys' questions from there.
Absolutely. Yes. You can also comment that on YouTube too, but it is helpful if you put them on the Instagram so that we can track them easily.
Yep.
We want to get all the questions, and trust me, we're reading and writing down all of them.
Yep.
So go ahead and put whatever you want to put. Okay, so
First
the question, what is the most effective form of communication that keeps you guys strong as a couple?
The most effective form of
That's deep.
communication.
I
What
like
do they
that.
mean about most effective form? Like,
That's a good question. Well, right as I read it, the first thing that came to mind for me is communicating as soon as we feel there's a problem or something we're disagreeing on, I
Ah,
think
okay.
effective could be talking about it right away rather than waiting.
Not holding it in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I noticed we used to do that a lot.
Yeah.
And fun fact, when Khalil and I get irritated, we actually both kind of just immediately go into the silent treatment. I don't know why. It's
Yeah.
just both of our personalities as individuals before we even started dating. And we kind of had to, coach ourselves out of that a little bit.
Yeah.
So we've really worked on saying right away, okay, this is how I'm feeling. Maybe I don't want to talk about it now. Maybe I do, but I'm feeling a little frustrated or I'm feeling annoyed or I'm feeling whatever.
For the
And
most part, for me, it was just like I'm just thinking about everything and just trying to come up with something.
yeah,
Like, okay, how should I respond to this? So I guess in a way it's good because, I'm thinking about what you're telling me
yeah,
and okay, let me understand this and then
absolutely.
reply. But for the most part, it was just I didn't want to talk about it.
I love the full
I'm just
transparency.
irritated
For the
and
most part,
mad.
I
Like,
didn't want to talk about it.
please just leave me alone and let me just be in my head.
But I feel like we don't really have moments that bad that you're thinking to yourself, please leave me alone or go away.
No.
Because we're very mellow
Well, but like you
people.
said, now there's an issue. We talk about the issue right there on the spot.
True,
Now it's not even an issue. It's like, oh,
true.
that wasn't even that bad. I feel like it gets bad when there's a small issue and then you're like, oh, let's not talk about it. Then there's another small issue and another and another and another. And now, once you do decide to just let everything out, all of those little issues become a big issue
Absolutely.
just because you didn't talk about it in the moment.
Absolutely.
So we are really good at that,
I
at
agree.
just talking about it in a moment.
Yeah.
So we're just always zen and always chill and always just
Peaceful.
peaceful.
One other important thing that I think I will mention to go along with that
Yeah.
is they have these things called love languages, if you haven't heard of them. And Khalil and I focus a lot on our love languages. In case you can't tell, one of his number one is physical touch,
Yep.
which I
All the
love.
time.
But I also believe that you have to learn your partner's, like, I don't want to call it anger language, but like argument language. Like, how do they respond when they're frustrated? How do they respond when they're irritated? Things like that. And the more I paid attention to Khalil's cues, almost like, oh, I can tell he's getting irritated right now, or I can tell this is stressing him out, kind of helped me to respond to certain situations a little bit differently.
That makes
And
sense.
even preventatively kind of ask myself, okay, how do I want to present this to him? I can already feel that he's stressed. Can I phrase it a different way? Can I communicate better? Those kind of things. That made a big difference for us as well.
That
It was
makes
really that
sense.
silent treatment that was getting us though, because
Yeah,
we'd be
for
driving silent in the
sure.
car. Nobody was talking.
And it's like it's silent. We could be driving an hour out and we're both just quiet.
Dead
Like
silent, you
it's
guys.
crazy.
It's
Yeah.
so I wish we had cameras back then
I
because it'd just
know.
be so funny to just see us like
Yeah. Just quiet.
completely quiet. So, but yeah, that was a good question. I hope that the answer helped you a little bit.
Yeah. That
On
was
to
a
the
great
next.
question. Let's see.
I love it.
Let me get the next question.
Good.
I would love to hear your perspectives on how fat shaming can affect a relationship. On whose part? Like fat shaming from people outside of the relationship. I feel like I mean that can affect it a little bit, like mental health, your partner's mental health can affect it a little bit, and then which in turn can affect the relationship.
True.
But we don't, from our part, that doesn't happen. So yeah,
No,
we're
never.
good.
And I feel
Just
like we kind of touched on that a little bit at the beginning of this episode too.
yeah,
Just not worrying about those external things.
yeah,
And I might have said this before, and I apologize if I'm repeating myself, but the only time it is a little bit difficult is when people make comments towards Khalil about it. Like, if they want to talk to me about it, that's fine. Like, talk to the source. Don't bring in somebody else and they'll say, oh, like, you're a professional athlete. Why haven't you done this? Or, oh, he, needs to be taken to the gym. Like, nothing that happens with my body is Khalil's fault at all. So I just want to put that out there as well. That's the only time I get a little irritated because I don't want anybody coming for him in any kind of disrespectful way because nothing is his fault whatsoever.
I appreciate it.
So, I'll be defending you.
I don't care though.
I know.
I'm just like, dude, whatever, bro.
Yeah, that's your opinion. We know the truth. That's, you know?
Yep.
Okay.
I love my baby.
Next.
There we go.
On to the next and final question. Sorry
Beautiful
for my
voice.
horrible singing for the Spotify listeners.
See, that's why I want to make a song with her. She has a great voice.
You know what's funny? This is so off topic, but we're being ourselves in this podcast, so you're about to get it all. Every time we do these, I'm singing that 50 Cent song in my head. Girl, it's easy to let me know. Is that
Hey,
is that the one
yeah,
where he says,
21
"It's
questions.
21 questions"?
Yeah, I love
And they
that.
all about us. Shout out to 50. Okay.
Shout out to 50.
Okay. Do you actually love everything about her?
Yes, I love everything about you. Your cheeks, your nose, your eyes, your eyebrows, your little freaking cute little fingers. Look how cute they are.
I literally have
Amazing.
sausage fingers.
Your hair is amazing. Your ears are so cute. Your little tummy is adorable. I love your tummy. It's the best tummy in the world. You got
Thank
you got a nice booty.
Oh,
Yep. Let him know.
hopefully
Let
my
him know.
mom's not watching.
Oh, sorry if you're watching, but you made a great daughter. She is amazing. She's a queen.
Besides my butt, obviously.
She's the greatest thing that has ever happened to me. And
Oh.
I'm so glad to have you in my life.
Thank you.
You made me a better man.
Okay, that's today.
Actually, no, you made me a man. That's what it is. Not a
Khalil,
better man.
I'm gonna cry. That's so sweet.
That's so sweet.
Thank
Even your
you.
little crying little eyes
Oh
are
my
so cute.
That is so sweet. Thank you.
Yo, no, thank you.
All I did was love you.
All I did was love you, and that's all I needed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, now that we got the tears going, you guys, let's go ahead and wrap this up. My goodness.
Wait, you didn't answer.
Oh, I didn't answer
Yeah.
because you got me out here blubbering and freaking snobbering and boogers and stuff everywhere. I guess if we're reversing the question and asking, do I love everything about him? The answer is obviously yes, because how could I not? I think Khalil and I found each other, and I never knew that I was going to need somebody the way that I need Khalil. And I know there's those people who are like, you never need anybody. And yes, I agree. But Khalil has given me things that have just made me a completely different human being. He's given me a level of confidence that is just insane. He makes it so that all those negative comments don't bother me because he's constantly pouring into me. Even if his cup is empty, he will literally pour into me 24/7, and it's really phenomenal. So, I love everything about him. He's my best friend. Khalil can leave the country for a week, and I literally just want to lay in the street and cry because I just feel so alone, you know?
I hate
So, he's my best friend, my human diary, my whole heart. So,
Yep.
if I keep talking about it, I shall cry a little more. So, yes, I love everything and more about him.
I love you too, baby.
Can't wait to marry you one day. Oh, y'all heard that suggestion.
Never know.
Say it in the comments if you want Khalil
Never
to
know.
marry me.
Might happen sooner than you think.
Ooh, y'all heard it? Y'all heard it? That's so funny. Well, I love you. In case you didn't know.
I love you too.
In case you guys didn't know either, I'm in love with him, so.
All right.
Well.
So we're actually gonna do another segment because we just like segments. This one is pet peeves.
Pet peeves. I love talking about pet peeves. Can I just say that? I don't know why. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but it's probably because I have so many of them.
Me too.
Right off the bat, there's just, how do I pick just one?
We're probably not gonna touch on all of them, but there's one specific one that we both have in common.
Oh gosh. Okay, I'm wondering if it's exactly what I'm thinking in this
Do you want to
moment.
start? Or
Okay,
do you want
no,
me to start?
you start because I want to know if we're gonna say the same thing.
So my number one pet peeve is when people chew loudly.
I knew it.
It's crazy. Like, what are you doing? Like, bro,
You hate when people do that.
I hate it. Like, with a passion, a burning passion. It's crazy.
You guys, it's so bad. Like, we've had experiences where Khalil's literally been like, okay, so is it time for us to wrap up the night? And I'm like, oh, it's a little
Yeah.
early. What's going on? Then as soon as we get somewhere private, he's like, oh, I couldn't, babe. Like the sound of the chewing was driving me
Yep.
insane. And I'm like, I get it. It was it was bothering
Yeah.
me too.
I'll literally leave. I can't take it.
But you know what though? We're so nice about it because we would never tell somebody like, oh, hey, could you chew quieter? We would never do that. We
Yeah.
just suffer internally until it's over, and then we're like, I could take a deep breath.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's crazy.
I feel like this is a little controversial and people might feel a little upset about it.
What
But
is
do you
it?
guys remember when COVID was happening and we all had to stand 6 feet apart? And then there were those who didn't want to stand 6 feet apart. I wish 6 feet apart was still a rule. Matter of fact, I wish 6 feet apart was a law at this point because I don't like when I'm trying to do something, especially at the grocery store, and you're hovering on my back and breathing down my neck like a dragon lady, and I
personal
have
space.
no personal space. It's completely different if you're gonna come up to me and talk to me, or you know me, but when strangers are all in my space like that, I literally physically get irritated for some reason. I don't know why. And
That's
also in today's world, why would you want to do that and be in
yeah.
someone's space? You know?
That's another thing we have in common. We don't like large crowds. We
No,
don't
we
like to
don't.
be like. I feel uncomfortable. I
I
don't
feel
know.
uncomfortable too.
I don't know why. I just not even because of the personal space thing. It's just like I don't know.
Makes me anxious.
Yeah, it makes me really anxious.
Yeah. I don't,
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. It's like a overload, I guess,
Yeah.
of just like people.
Yeah.
Also, loud sounds
Oh
overwhelm
yeah.
me too. Like if
For
I get
me,
in Khalil's car and he has the music on
yeah.
full blast, and as soon as he turns the car on, we're having a cute, gentle conversation. Like,
Yeah.
okay, babe, how
And
was
it
your day?
just goes
Boom,
on.
boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god.
You know, it's interesting because like I grew up. I'm Brazilian. If you guys didn't know, I grew up around a lot of family members, and every weekend we would have big family dinners and like loud music and parties and stuff. And I never liked parties and stuff like that. Like my mom,
Me
like
either.
I'd be with my mom and my aunts, and then we'll go to like like little parties and stuff where because my uncles they all played like instruments. So then I will go with her because well I didn't want to go to the thing, but then I was like a mama's boy, still am. So
Oh.
I didn't want to stay somewhere else because my mom is going. So I'm like like I guess I'll go. And I always cried when I wasn't near my mom. It's crazy. So I would go with my mom to these places, and then I would be so irritated that I'm there and then she wouldn't like, yo, you're here now. You wanted to come. So then I would just go and sleep somewhere while all the loud music was playing, and I fell asleep like a freaking baby. And that's probably why I fall asleep anywhere now.
That is so funny. That's true. Khalil can't fall asleep anywhere. I know I've said that before.
If I'm in the car for more than 30 minutes,
He's a goner.
I'll fall asleep.
Especially if he's in the back seat
Yeah.
for some reason. The back seat just gets Khalil.
Yeah.
Takes him right to sleepy land.
And in her house, I always fall asleep. She has the
That's
most
true.
cozy house ever.
Thank you. A lot of people say that when they come to my house, that my house is very cozy, and I'm not quite sure what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe because my house looks kind of vintage. Like I should be in like a Hallmark movie where they go to an
Yeah.
old town.
No,
Like
literally.
that's actually how my house looks. It's very cute. It's called the Hobbit house. So
It's amazing.
it fits. But yeah, man, pet peeves I could talk about for hours. So we might have to just stop it there because I was already thinking of 3 other ones that just they get me. So
What
you
is it?
guys,
One more.
just one more.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't like when people. Oh, this is gonna sound so mean. What if the people don't like me after this? What if the
That's
people
okay.
think
They probably have the same pet
if they
peeve.
think I'm horrible?
And if you do this thing, then sorry, she doesn't like you. I'm
Babe,
just kidding.
don't say it if you do this thing. Sorry,
No,
she
I'm just
doesn't
kidding.
like
I'm
you
just
because that's so horrible.
What is it?
I don't like this kind of goes to like the personal awareness thing.
Okay.
I don't like when people are not consciously aware of when they're doing something that affects somebody else. So for example, if you're at a dinner table and you're shaking your leg and it's jiggling the table and you don't notice, I'm
Yeah.
irritated. If you're sitting in a car and your seat is leaning back and the person behind you's knees are touching the seat, I'm irritated.
Not even your knees.
No,
You're
not
just
even my
irritated
knees.
for the
Just,
person.
no, I am. I'm irritated for the person. Like if I was driving and Khalil's in the passenger seat and my friends or family are sitting behind him and he was leaning in the chair, I would literally like Khalil sit up, please, because I don't like when people are not conscious of how what they're doing is affecting somebody else.
Yeah, same.
And I know I said selfish people live longer and you should be selfish, but not in that sense because you're affecting somebody else in a negative way.
There we go.
Please don't hate me.
You have the best laugh in the world.
Thank you. I feel like my laugh is very annoying. Sorry to our Spotify listeners.
I love it.
Thank you. But yeah, if you guys ever want to hear any more pet peeves, hit your girl up. I have so many.
Yeah, she does.
But that was fun. I needed a good laugh after our deep conversation about, health and fitness and things like that. It's always good to lighten up the mood with a little pet peeve combo.
Yeah. But I think that was good for today.
It was great.
Yeah.
I loved it. Good
We
conversation.
always love your questions.
Absolutely. You guys make this podcast possible.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we
appreciate
wouldn't
all
be
of
doing
you.
this if it wasn't for you guys.
Absolutely not. Because who would we be talking to?
Exactly.
Ourselves. We might do that, though, because we're a little cuckoo. You never know.
True.
We do talk to ourselves.
We do.
But sometimes we need expert advice, so we have to talk to ourselves.
True.
Period.
There we go.
Well, thank you guys for watching.
Yep.
I appreciate you for being here. I'm always going to, send out that same gratitude that I always send. Thank you for spending some time with us out of your day. We deeply appreciate it. And we read all of your comments. So the response that we got to the first episode was so amazing.
Yeah.
I love it. It was really great. So thank you guys for even taking the time to comment too. And we hope you like this episode. Let us know what your thoughts are on the topics that we discussed as well. And leave some suggestions for the next one.
Yep.
Thank you for being here.
We will be back very, very soon.
Yes, we will.
Thank you so much for watching.
Sending all that love to you.
We love you.
Bye.